Howdy, welcome back to Crafty Grinding. It's time for another Round 1 Arena Cutoff prediction video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today, the new arenas we have are Red Skull and Ebony Maw. So the first thing I always like to do if you're new to the channel is categorize these arenas to past arenas, as that allows me then to take a look at this past arenas results to get an idea of what might happen this time around. And when it comes to Red Skull as a feature champ, he's been in the game for a while, so he's definitely not going to qualify as a new champ. So it's either going to it's definitely an old champ, right? Really, there's old or new for the most part. I have come up with new split out, and really old champs are also, old feature champs are also split out into kind of a lower group and higher group as well, but I'll get into those details here in a few minutes. And then when it comes to Ebony Maw in the 4-star basic arena, really there's 3 types: high interest, medium interest, and low interest. And I definitely think Ebony Maw, because he's still kind of a meme champ right now. He has some places where he has some utility, but he's definitely not one of a top tier champ. I think he's going to fall into that mid interest range. But here too, we're seeing kind of a shift going on with medium interest 4-star basic champs, and I'll get into that as well here in a few minutes. But anyway, for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and qualify him as a medium interest 4-star basic champ. So now that I've kind of categorized these, let's take a look at some of those past arenas results and get into some of those details I was just referring to. Starting first with the 4-star basic, I'll call it medium interest results because for the most part, when it's a champ's first time around in the 4-star basic arena, either they're medium interest or high interest. And high interest is, as I kind of categorize it, is higher, 3 million or higher. And we really haven't had any champs go over 3 million anytime recently. I thought Call Obsidian might have gotten there, real close anyway, but obviously with all the game issues the weekend of his arena, that wasn't the case. And so he kind of fell into that medium interest. But what I'm noticing of late here, even what I think for kind of those lower tier champs that are first time around, so you can see a handful of them here, Diablo, Annihilus, and even Ronin, surprisingly enough, all kind of were medium interest, thinking I would think they'd make 2 million. They didn't even make 2 million. Now, Mr. Sinister, definitely, a decent champ to have in the game. He was definitely over that 2 million at 2.4, but for all those other champs, including Ronin most recently, they didn't even make 2 million, which would, the way I kind of categorize 4-star basic arenas, that would actually fall in the low interest. And we've even had like Captain America Infinity War, and just this past champ, Iron Man Infinity War, he did better than Annihilus, and especially Ronin, who that was their first time around the 4-star basic arena, which means they're still relatively new in the game, especially compared to even like a Captain America or Iron Man Infinity War, who've been in the game for over a year. Just those champs are better champs in the game than some of these even Ronin, so that's why maybe we've seen those results. So for the time being, I'm still going to keep the 4-star basic arena categories low, medium, and high. And we'll just have to kind of play by ear, and I might have to shift those categories around a little bit. But anyway, here's some of those recent results. I definitely feel like Ebony Maw is going to fall closer to Annihilus and Diablo versus Mr. Sinister, but it's probably going to be somewhere in between. Now, with the 3-star feature old champs, these are trends that have been this way for some time, and we don't see those changing. The last milestone for the 3-star feature arena, and to be clear, all of these past results are for the veterans bracket. If you're new to the game, Marvel Contest of Champions has a number of arena brackets, as they're called, depending on how long you've been in the game. And once it's by not how long you've been playing the game, but how long your account has been open. Once your account's been open for over 61 days, you're lumped into what's called the veterans bracket, and veterans bracket is for everybody after 61 days, basically. And so the results you're seeing here all reflect those veterans bracket numbers. But anyway, for the old 3-star feature arena results, you can see here we have a pretty consistent number over the last milestone, which is 640,000. So you get over that last milestone, a couple 10,000 extra, and you'll be fine. Old 4-star feature, this is where, for a certain type of champ, if you're still a really viable champ of the game, and not just viable, because a lot of these champs you see here are viable in different scenarios. If you're really one of those top tier champs, think Captain America Infinity War, who's come around as a feature champ a number of times. or Venom more recently, and those numbers aren't anywhere, well, I shouldn't say aren't anywhere closer. They're close to these, but they're a little bit higher, closer to 6 million than this 5.5. If you're a decent champ, different spots, but not one of those top tier or top 1 or 2 tier champs, you're going to be more in this 5.5 million range. You can see these are very consistent. Most recently, we have King Groot coming in at 5.5 as well. And taking that kind of same category of old feature champ, you can see that it's right around, low 20 millions all the way up to 25 million. It seems to be getting closer to 25 million here when you look at Miles Morales, MODOK, and King Groot most recently. So it feels like 25 million is kind of around where this type of champ has kind of plateaued, and I think this is the kind of champ that Red Skull fits in. So based off of these past results, here are my thoughts for round 1 cutoffs for these new arenas. And again, these are for the veterans brackets. So starting first with the 5-star feature Red Skull, I think we're looking at 25 million, right? We've seen a very consistent kind of trend coming on here. I think Red Skull is going to fall right in line there. And if you're interested in that top 10%, that next shard tier, you're looking at 14 million. Then for the 4-star feature Red Skull, I think we're looking at 5.6. Again, very consistent trend we're seeing here. Sure, Miles Morales had a small spike, so accounting for that spike, I'm going to go 5.6 million. Ebony Maw, that's where it got a little bit tricky here. Again, you could see there hasn't been a very consistent theme. It looks like it's under 2 million for kind of those lower interest champs, or maybe they don't have a lot of use across the game widespread yet. Ebony Maw, I know, has been talked by Kabam to potentially get kind of a redo a bit, kind of a buff. So given that, and I'm still not convinced that these type of champs fall under 2 million still, even though the results even most recently with Ronin show that's not the case. I'm still not ready to write that off yet, so I'm still thinking around 2 million to 2.1 million. And lastly, with a trend we can definitely kind of rely on, I think we're like at 650,000 for the 3-star feature Red Skull. And again, these predictions are for the veterans bracket. And I always like to say these are just predictions based off of some recent trends. Some of those trends aren't 100% secure. You saw for the 4-star basic arena, it's been jumping around a little bit. So I always like to give kind of a grind target to put yourself in a better spot to make sure you get the champ in the best possible situation, right? Obviously, exceptions can occur, and when those happen, it happens, and you got to kind of deal with it. So here's some some extra kind of numbers you might want to go against to give yourself a little cushion away from that cutoff, just to make sure you got a better chance to get that champ. So with the 5-star feature, I think you want to go to 28 million for Red Skull. 6 million should be fine for the 4-star feature Red Skull. 2.5 million should work for Ebony Maw, and 700,000 should be fine for the 3-star feature Red Skull. And again, the grind targets and cutoff predictions are all for the veterans bracket. When it comes for the earlier brackets, there's just not a ton of historical data. It's all self-reported by the community anyway, so folks that are in these earlier brackets, there's not a place for them to go to really other than my channel. A lot of folks do take the time to come in and tell me how they're doing in these lower brackets, and I do appreciate it, because that's the only way we can get a read, really, is there's not really any other hotspots across the community that are collecting the lower arena bracket scores. So based off of that occasional information I get from the community for the beginners bracket, again, this is for accounts that are just open up to 30 days. 3-star feature, you're looking at 245,000. 4-star basic, 850,000. 4-star feature, 1 million. Jumping down to the intermediate bracket, so that's 31 days to 60 days. 3-star feature, looking at 600,000. 4-star basic, 1.1 million. And lastly, the 4-star feature at 1.2 million. So anyway, these are my thoughts for round 1 of the Red Skull and Ebony Maw arenas. If you have any questions or difference of opinions, would love to hear about them. Throw them on down in the comment section, and we can discuss them there. If you like this video, if you find this information helpful, would really appreciate if you click that thumbs up button, as it helps the video and my channel get more visibility across YouTube, etc. And if you like these type of videos and want to see more and you haven't yet subscribed, please do. Other than that, thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.